The tour of North America for the Turf and Touchdowns horse racing podcast continues. We've been to California, we've been to New York the last couple of weeks. We're down in Florida this time around at Gulfstream Park. We'll get to that in a few moments' time. Myself, Luke Elder, alongside Tom Collins. We're building up towards bigger races in the near future, i.e. the Pegasus. Tom, that's just after Christmas in January, but not a bad race coming up this week, and it's always nice when we focus on Gulfstream.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be focusing on Gulfstream quite a lot over the next couple of weeks. Obviously, it will move to Santa Anita around Christmas time when their meet begins, and then Gulfstream again for the Pegasus, as you say, in January. I mean, the plan wasn't to do the Tropical Park Derby. We have to admit, the plan was to do the Los Al Futurity, but they didn't get the field out in time. So yeah, we've had to switch up races. This is still a good event. $140,000 up for grabs, and some good horses in the field as well.
Yeah, Los Alamitos once again proving why they are absolutely terrible and why we should never talk about Los Alamitos. I must say, Los Alamitos, it's got to be one of my bottom three tracks in North America.
Yeah, I mean, especially for punting for me. Look, I don't mind watching it, but it seems like there are organisations all over the place. It's very hard to find winners because of that abnormal long home straight. I was trying to give them a chance this week. It was on the running order. They kind of spurned their opportunity. So Gulfstream it is.
Yeah, the running order came through. I saw Los Alamitos. I was like, oh no, is it that bad? Are we scraping the bottom of the barrel? But we're switching to Gulfstream. We're taking in the Tropical Park Derby, and we're going to hopefully find a winner, hopefully a forecast. Let me tell you about the guys over at SBK who sponsor this podcast, to which we are eternally grateful to them for doing so. If you haven't downloaded the new app for SBK, go over, make your account, place £10, you get £40 in free bets. And if you're an NFL fan as well, just an extra bonus on that side of things, you get an extra 25% ACCA boost at the weekend. We are also previewing the NFL games in just a few moments' time. That'll be on our YouTube channel pretty much now. But thank you to SBK for sponsoring. T's and C's apply, 18 plus only, and please gamble responsibly. Let's dive into the contest, Tom. No morning line through just yet for the Tropical Park Derby, but I would imagine that Cugino will be towards the head of the market, and I'd be surprised if he wasn't favourite, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he'll probably go off, maybe sub 2-1, but around 2-1. I don't know what the morning line's going to be on him. Hopefully, it's a little bit bigger than 2-1, maybe 5-2 favourite, and that'll be about accurate. Well, not accurate, but provide some value. And then it'll get shorter and shorter as the race comes around. There looks to be three standouts in here who we're going to talk about in greater detail in a second. Silent Heart, Live High, Live Low, and Cugino. But it's a pretty good race. We've got a big field of 12 runners and some reserves as well, some also eligibles in the field. So I'm looking forward to getting stuck into this. Hopefully we can find the winner and the forecast, as you say. Talking about the speed, well, two of the horses, that are going to be towards the top of the market that I've already mentioned in Silent Heart and Live High, Live Low, they're both going to be pushing forward, along with possibly Inveigled, who's a dirt horse switching to turf and is drawn wide outside in gate 12. So the pace is likely to be strong enough, which is what we want. We don't want one of these dawdles that we see on turf throughout the whole course of the year, especially in New York. This race should be run at solid enough fractions and give every horse an opportunity of winning.
I like that two of these people do go forward. Yeah, that's Barry. He's a front runner, and that's Dave. He also likes to go forward as well.
Yeah, I'm back in NFL mode already, aren't I?
It just works. I like it. I don't hate it. Let's start with Silent Heart, because as you say, he is one of the pace angles for Brian Lynch. He's kind of an unknown over this trip. He's more of a sprinter, as we've sort of become accustomed to him. But he ran in the Colonel Liam last year over a mile, and he ran very well. He ran in the Showing Up Stakes last time around, and I thought he took his form to new heights. If he were to continue on that sort of trajectory, then he's going to be a big player in here.
Yeah, he's a major player. He's only been out of the top three in one of his 9 starts, and that came in the Palisades Stakes last year at Keeneland. That's a sprint contest and probably not ideal for him, though his form in sprints is actually pretty good throughout his career. He's still improving. His latest effort was probably a career best, and he's likely to get towards the front. Trainer Brian Lynch has a 23% strike rate with all runners at Gulfstream in the last 12 months. I mean, that's a positive. He's also booked a very good rider to take the mountain as well. So there's a lot to like about Silent Heart. I narrowly prefer 1 or 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if he won.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either. Look, he's going to have to try and get across from stall 9. He is a front runner. We saw that last time around. He didn't have to dominate from the get-go. He was up there with the pace, and then he took over sort of midway through the race. But he was drawn in, I think, 10 last time around. He's drawn in 9, so he had to get across last time over. This is a tougher race, don't get me wrong, but he should still be able to make the lead. It's just a case of after that whether he can stay there. Cugino is kind of different on that part. He's going to be coming from a fair way back. I would say that Cugino is the class horse in the race, but I don't think that's saying anything too out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I completely agree with that as well. He's been a little bit frustrating in his career so far, but he's shown a lot of ability on virtually every single one of his outings since he made a winning debut. He's been second 4 times from 8 starts. So this is a horse that has unfortunately been hitting the crossbar more often than Connections would have liked. He's only got the 2 wins. As I say, one of them was on the debut, one of them subsequently. That being said, he's had plenty of unlucky trips. He's been, short of room at crucial stages, just not had the right pace in front of him. Had to go wide in a couple of races where you can't be wide. So there are reasons why Cugino is potentially better than his strike rate suggests. Speed figures, he's bang up there in terms of the best horses in this race. And last time in Grade 3 company, he was super unlucky. He should have won that contest. Now, Connections have booked Irad Ortiz. He takes over for the first time. And whenever Irad's booked on any horse, but especially in a stakes race like this, they're going to take a lot of money. So don't expect to get a huge price on Cugino. That being said, I think he's the best horse, providing he gets a clear trip, and they do go the likely solid fractions I'm expecting.
Yeah, I think Irad's a massive positive as well here at Gulfstream throughout the winter months. Obviously, we get a few of the big names coming in. I feel like Irad was there first this year. Javier Castellano's flown in. Jose Ortiz, I don't think is there yet.
No,
But
he's a
the
fairgrounds.
yeah, the bigger names are on their way, but Irad seems to just get there a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it seems like he didn't really want to go to fairgrounds. He didn't really want to do the last couple of weeks at Aqueduct, and he's kind of just gone down to Gulfstream to enjoy the summer sun. Well, winter sun, I guess. And he's thriving right now. He's an interesting rider, isn't he? Because he's obviously one of the best. People sometimes don't like him in lower grade races because he doesn't put in as much effort visually,
Mhm.
but he tends to win at a huge strike rate. So whenever he partners any horse, whether that be in a claimer, a maiden, allowance race, stakes race, you have to take note, especially in the stakes races, though. That's where he wants to win, and that's where he shows his tactical nous, let's say, during the race.
Yeah, he's somehow lots better in the more valuable races, but he'll be on board. Cugino, who's got a very solid chart, I would imagine Cugino will be favourite in this contest. We've sort of mentioned in passing Live High, Live Low. He's another horse that possibly could sit close to the pace. I just think he might be a better 6 furlong horse than he is a miler. He's still good over a mile, don't get me wrong, but over 6, he just seems to excel.
Yeah, potentially. He's drawn inside, so I don't think Connections really have much of an option of what they're going to do tactically. I think they have to push forward. He had to be dropped into a maiden claimer to actually win for the first time, which was remarkable. It kind of showed that Connections were giving up hope a little bit with him.
Mhm.
But subsequently, he's gone from strength to strength, and he's a better horse now. His run in the Carl Place at Belmont at the Big A last time was solid. I thought he performed pretty creditably. And, this is a horse he's strong. He should be tactically suited by this race by being up with the speed on what is usually a speed favouring track. It's just whether he's good enough. Speed figures suggest he's right up there. I prefer one or two, including the couple that we've already talked about.
We'll mention very quickly in a jam as well. Obviously, has got the form with Silent Heart, was second last time around in the showing up stakes. But yes, on the figures, has got a bit of work to do. But look, Mark Hasse, you have to respect any horse he throws into a race like this.
Yeah, he'll be in a midfield spot in the middle part of the race, so he'll kind of split Cugino in the front runners, Silent Heart, Live High, Live Low. So he'll be in that stalking role. If you want a stalker, maybe Inner Jam's the one you want to play. On form, it's hard to see him reversing it with Silent Heart. You have to admit. Edwin Gonzalez takes over. I think he's a better rider on the all-weather synth surface rather than the turf. But look, he's not completely out of this race, and we've seen in a number of these contests that we've specifically previewed you can have a shock, and that's it could be a possibility in this event too.
Yeah, he will need to improve a fair bit, though. We'll in a jam. We've raced through them. Let's go straight into our selections. Tom, selections brought to you by SBK, and hopefully, with these selections, we're going to take a bit of money off SBK as well. I'll let you. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, talking about SBK, there's a link down below if you do want to sign up and get the offer that Luke said earlier in the podcast. Click that link, sign up. It will take you straight to the page. Sign up, get an account, and you can play all of our picks
I've
there.
noticed. I've noticed that when you're talking about sponsors, you point a lot.
Yeah, because like down below,
Yeah, but it's
there's a
also
link right
point on the
there.
screen as well. Yeah.
I'm into it, mate. I'm into it. Come on, go and do it now. It's like a forceful nature. Into the picks. I do want to quickly mention a horse called Palm Tree, actually, who's in this race. Worthy of a mention, not my selection. Unexposed, leading connections, improving form. Don't sleep on that horse if you do want like an each way play in the race. But my pick is going to be Cugino. We've already talked about him in good detail. We both think he's probably the most talented horse in the race. I love the booking of Irad Ortiz. I think this actual race setup will be perfect
Mhm.
for him as well, with the two or three horses that want to push forward. They kind of should string the field out. And what we've seen in recent races with Cugino is they've stacked up, and that's played against him. If he gets a clear run, hopefully Irad will tip to the outside. Then I think he's going to be too tough to hold. So it'll be Cugino for me.
Yeah, I think it's a two-horse race. Cugino is absolutely one of them. I just worry a little bit about what sort of price he's going to be. I think he'll be fairly short. I prefer the tactical speed of Silent Heart. He's going to go forward early on. Look, he might not be good enough to beat Cugino, but if he can give him the slip in sort of the latter part of the back straight, then he could be very interesting. As you mentioned, he's still very unexposed over this trip. Generally, he's been campaigned over 5.5 and 5 furlongs, but two starts over a mile or a mile plus, he was very good. As I say, one of them in the Palisades when last year he did back out of things, but last time round he was brilliant. He absolutely dominated in a jam. He beat him by 3.25 lengths, and that was fairly easy. He's very much worth a go in a race like this. If he gets to the front, it might be another frustrating day for Cugino. So I'll take Silent Heart and take one of the front running angles, but Cugino for Tom, Silent Heart for myself. Looking forward to, not that this wasn't a good race, Tom, but looking forward to some real classy contests in the coming weeks. When we get to the other side of Boxing Day or Christmas Day, that's when it starts.
Yeah, I think is it the Malibu Stakes
Yeah.
on Boxing Day, which is the highlight. So yeah, that's like the proper first good race of the winter period, and then we move to Gulfstream as we've already talked about, and it'll be Grade One and Grade Two action that we'll be previewing every week. This week a little bit disappointing, I suppose, that we didn't get the Lost Hour race, though we would be talking about a lot of Bob Baffert horses there. So hopefully we'll find a winner anyway, and stick with us, guys. We'll be coming to the better contest soon.
Exactly. The Highland Holidays is not too far away as well. White Abario will be pointed there before he goes towards the Pegasus. But that's all to come on the Turf and Touchdowns podcast in the next few weeks. That is us done for today on the Turf and Touchdowns podcast on the horse racing front. Go check out our NFL stuff. We've got a Thursday night football preview that is up. We've got a Sunday preview as well that is up. If you're an NFL fan, go say hi, and hopefully we'll find a few winners there as well. But on the horse racing front, that's us done for this week. Stay safe, look after another. Goodbye.